Right now, UW students scrambling to find affordable housing for next year. We hear about one woman's experience looking for a place to live.
Also, Waukesha police officers take the stand to give their testimony as the Darrell Brooks trial continues.
And later, our reality check looks into the attack ads on Governor Evers' record on parole and how it works in the state of Wisconsin. You're watching News 3 now at 6. It's the time of the year when students at UW-Madison are scrambling to find housing, and not for next semester, but next fall.
One student took to social media, to TikTok, to share her thoughts on affordable housing off campus for students. That student shared her anxiousness with our Catherine Merck.
We have an affordable housing crisis, and unfortunately, this isn't new.
Lydia Zychek is a sophomore at UW-Madison. This video on TikTok with nearly 80,000 views shares her own experience trying to find an apartment in Madison.
So I was really shocked with my feedback. This year I started searching for leases, and I realized how competitive leases were this year and how bad affordable housing is in Madison and how limited it is.
She's not alone. Allison Stecker agrees.
This housing market right now is ridiculous, and no one can afford it. And they're only building more luxury apartments. Like, what college student needs all those amenities?
Those students, like Lydia, are having problems finding affordable off-campus housing. There are places that people like her can go for help. The Tenant Resource Center knows these problems all too well. The organization provides information on rental rights and responsibilities to tenants and landlords. The nonprofit couldn't talk to me on camera today, but their website does share its goal is to meet all communities' needs, not merely just the needs of the privileged. That's something Lydia says everyone involved in Madison housing needs to think about to make sure people like her can find an affordable place to live.
With diversity, university has to be prepared for that. They're not prepared for all different people in different walks of life to come here if you don't have affordable housing.
Reporting in Madison, I'm Catherine Merck with News 3 Now.
UW-Madison announced this year's freshman class is the largest in university history. According to data from U.S. News last year, nearly 3/4 of UW students live off campus. We touched base with the university today, and they told us university housing does not have any oversight of off-campus housing. Let's check your certified most accurate forecast with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi.
Well, temperatures are still chilly, but we start to turn the corner tomorrow. Be a little milder for tomorrow and a lot milder for the weekend. Visible cloud track shows lots of sunshine across Wisconsin today. The thicker clouds again on the other side of Lake Michigan, where there still are a few snow showers and flurries across northern lower Michigan and the eastern portion of Lake Superior into Ontario. But around here, it was just cold last night. 27 the low in Madison, down to 19 in Black River Falls and 18 in Camp Douglas, but most areas were in the upper 20s. Closer to Lake Michigan, temperatures were around freezing. Current temperatures, though, already starting to fall, down to 42 in Madison, 43 in Janesville. A little milder out to the west, but not by much. 45 right now in Boscobel, and temperatures in the 30s north and east of Dane County. Already down to 41 in Sun Prairie and Deerfield, 41 in Middleton, and 41 in Verona. Look for skies to be clear to partly cloudy this evening. Temperatures dropping into the middle 30s by late evening. Tomorrow morning won't be quite as cold, but again, those temperatures will start turning milder by tomorrow afternoon. I'll tell you what we can expect as we head into the weekend in just a few minutes.
The Darrell Brooks trial continued today with Waukesha police officers who canvassed the area immediately following the Christmas parade tragedy. The day began with a juror raising health concerns due to COVID. In anticipation of this trial, the court has installed a new HVAC system, air purifiers, and a UV light system. Also, extra sanitation and masks are being provided. Kyle Becker from the Waukesha Police Department detailed the evidence he found the day Brooks was arrested after the attack.
And then I also located a gray hooded sweatshirt that had a multicolored design or logo on the front of the sweatshirt. That sweatshirt was the same sweatshirt that we believed Mr. Brooks was wearing during the incident. This was the gray hooded sweatshirt that I located in the children's playhouse.
This was a rare moment so far in this trial of physical evidence shown in the courtroom. Later in the afternoon, the jury got to see the weapon used in this attack, the red SUV. Brooks did not attend.
A not guilty plea has been entered for a Fitchburg man charged in a deadly shooting near Warner Park. Akil Lowe faces 5 felony charges, including first-degree intentional homicide as party to a crime and involving the use of a dangerous weapon. This stems from a July 22nd shooting on Madison's north side. His next court appearance scheduled for December 12th. Lowe is accused of shooting and killing LaRon Bynum of Milwaukee. Bynum found dead inside a Kia Optima that had been reported stolen. A criminal complaint alleges that Lowe was part of a group that was searching for the vehicle. When the group found the vehicle, Lowe allegedly shot at the people inside while another person fired at the Kia from inside a getaway vehicle. Lowe was later arrested in Ohio in August. And a man accused of killing a woman in rural Dane County earlier this year is bound over for trial now. 71-year-old Jose Luis Gonzalez Sr. is charged with first-degree intentional homicide. This is in connection with the death of 39-year-old Dora Gonzalez Zarate. A complaint alleges that he and Zarate shared a romantic relationship, that she was trying to leave, and that he was at her home the day she was killed. Zarate found dead in her home in the town of York May 24th. An arraignment for Gonzalez now scheduled for October 27th.
A Green Bay community is mourning the death of a 5-year-old girl after she was shot Monday evening. Police still aren't saying anything beyond the fact that she was shot. Kayla Evans and her family want the community to know they want justice. They believe that can happen by helping find the person of interest in the case, 35-year-old Jordan Levy Carter.
Was robbed of her life. It's not right. She had her whole life ahead of her. The family wants justice. I'm pretty sure the community wants justice. This is a child.
Carter is believed to be driving a dark green Mercury Milan that has front-end damage. The license plate number is AHT7886. No additional details are being released. Anyone with information on Carter's whereabouts is asked to contact Green Bay PD.
Sheriff's officials in Shawano County are trying to figure out what happened leading up to a bonfire explosion that sent multiple children to the hospital last Friday. Right now, they believe a 55-gallon drum barrel was rolled into the fire. While not full, officials say that barrel contained some type of diesel fuel mixture. The victims drove themselves to the hospital and did not call 911. Many were rushed to Columbia St. Mary's Burn Center and UW Health Burn and Wound Clinic in Madison with 2nd and 3rd degree burns. The Sheriff's Department says no one will be cited for underage drinking in an effort to encourage those who were present to come forward.
Crime continues to be a top issue for voters this fall, so no surprise it's been a key part of campaign ads.
Now we've seen continued attacks against Governor Evers, specifically about the work of his parole commission. Political reporter Will Keneally explores some of those claims in this News 3 Now reality check.
There are a couple of similar ads focusing on Evers' records on paroles and pardons, but we're going to focus on this ad looking at his record on paroles. It's bought by a PAC affiliated with the Republican Governors Association.
The judge called it the most heinous crime he'd ever seen.
This is a testimonial from Janine Peters, whose sister Kathleen Valetsky was murdered by her husband in the 1980s.
And the killer was sent to jail for life. But Tony Evers' parole commission set him free.
This is true. Carl Valetsky was released on parole in 2019 after serving 36 years in prison. So how does parole work in Wisconsin? In 2000, Wisconsin's law changed. Anyone convicted after 2000 is required to serve their full sentence of initial confinement. A judge decides when after that they can be eligible for release on extended supervision. Those convicted before 2000 must meet certain conditions for parole. At minimum, they need to serve at least a quarter of their sentence. And in most cases, they have to be let out after serving 2/3 of their sentence. So that category between 1/4 and 2/3 of their sentence is what's called discretionary parole. And that's the category that Valetsky fell in. He also needed to meet a series of criteria: that he served enough time to warrant the punishment of a sentence, and that he is no longer a threat to the public. He made his case before the state's parole commission, which is appointed by the governor. And that's another criticism from the ad.
And they didn't even tell us.
This has been a pervasive criticism of the Evers Parole Commission, that they have not notified victims' family or gotten their input as part of the parole process.
He has not served enough time.
Earlier this year, the family of murder victim Johanna Balsevich directly petitioned the governor, asking him not to let her killer out on parole. Evers lobbied his parole commission, and the Balsevich parole was eventually rescinded. The governor later asked the chair of his parole commission at the time to resign.
Under Evers, hundreds of other violent criminals have been released early.
This could use some clarification. As of this September, the Evers Parole Commission has granted more than 400 discretionary paroles to prisoners in Wisconsin. That's a little bit of a faster pace than the Walker administration, who granted more than 600 discretionary paroles in his 8 years in office. With this reality check, I'm Will Keneally.
And you can see our full series of reality checks online at channel3000.com.
Today is the last day Wisconsinites can register by mail or online to vote in the November 8th election. A voter wanting to register by mail needs to have their registration form and proof of residence postmarked and sent to their municipal clerk's office. The same deadline exists for voters using the My Vote website to register online. After today, a voter will still be able to register to vote at their clerk's office during business hours until 5 p.m. on November 4th. Voters can also register at the polls on Election Day. Coming up on News 3 Now at 6, American Family Children's Hospital hosts a fundraiser to assist patients and their families.
Plus, the results are in. Find out what is the coolest thing made in Wisconsin this year. That's when we come back.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for all cash as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
In every corner of our state, Wisconsinites feel the impact of a changing climate, from the effects on our crops and livestock to the damage to our roads and highways. That's why Governor Tony Evers has a plan to take action and protect our state. It will get Wisconsin to 100% clean energy, lower power bills, grow our local economies, and create more than 40,000 jobs right here in Wisconsin. Tony Evers, focused on doing the right thing for Wisconsin families.
A new Chevy is the smart way to hit the open road. The smart way to road trip and seek new adventures. Go a little farther in a new Chevy. Find new get up and go, find new roads. Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing or get $1,200 cash allowance on all 2022 Equinox models. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
When I heard from my doctor, it was my worst nightmare. My baby's diagnosis was dismal, a severe abnormality, and my husband and I decided to have an abortion so our daughter wouldn't suffer. Tim Michaels thinks that decision should have been his, not ours. He wants to criminalize abortion. And if he's elected, women will lose the freedom to decide what's best for them. Tim Michaels is just way too radical for Wisconsin.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
These guys will buy our house without even seeing it.
Online buyers make offers that seem attractive at first, only to lower or cancel at the last minute. We Buy Ugly Houses won't reduce or cancel our firm cash offers before closing. Call or click to sell quick.
Welcome back. American Family Children's Hospital's 17th annual Radiothon fundraiser is now underway. Midwest Family Broadcasting and many of its radio stations will be hosting the 3-day event. From 6 a.m. to 7 p.m., they'll be interviewing parents and patients who've been treated at the Children's Hospital, sharing their stories of survival and courage, including Mackenzie Smith, who had been diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma.
It was definitely a journey, that's for sure, but all the love, support, and care that I got was just really, it helped so much in ways that people can't even really imagine.
The money raised will support programs that assist patients and families. If you would like to make a pledge, last year's event raised more than $515,000.
The official coolest thing made in the state of Wisconsin was revealed today at Monona Terrace. It's called the Volterra. It is the first ever all-electric municipal fire truck. It's made by Pierce Manufacturing in Appleton. In total, 152,000 votes were cast to determine the coolest things made in Wisconsin. And in the final round, only 98 votes separated number 1 and number 2 this year. One Volterra is already serving right here in the Madison Fire Department on the front lines at Station 8, which is Madison's busiest fire station.
So when we went to the city and asked them about the opportunity to introduce an electric fire truck into their fleet, they met us with open arms and indicated that they'd be very interested in introducing this vehicle into their fleet.
Well, there were nearly 150 different products nominated this year, but only one could be the winner. Even the Coolest Thing trophy is made right here in Wisconsin. Still had a record-breaking year for the Goodman Community Center.
How inflation is impacting their Thanksgiving basket drive and what you can do to help families in need.
And get ready to put those jackets away for a while, at least for the weekend. Your complete forecast up next.
Looking at mattresses?
I'm just looking.
Jump on it, roll on it.
No.
Just pretend I'm not here. You have any questions?
Buying a mattress can be uncomfortable.
She seemed nice.
That's why Slumberland has modernized the process. Slumberland. Mattress shopping reinvented.
Did you know Tim Michaels encourages violence from his supporters?
People should just be ready to get out in the streets with pitchforks and torches.
He's extremely divisive.
I don't care who I offend.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Goldman Cars is having a big end of summer sale with 2018 Chevy Equinoxes starting at $18,995 or $299 per month.
Don't miss out on our end of summer sale with the best selection of 2018 Chevy Equinoxes starting at $18,995 or $299 per month.
Goldman Cars has been family owned and operated for over 50 years, so just come on in and ask for my brother, Dealing Donovan.
Or my sister, Crystal the Pistol Goldman.
Go to Goldman Cars, east or west.
You gotta go to Goldman, GoldmanCars.com.
Helpful hints for you from Meineke. It's important to monitor the tread level and tire pressure on your car's tires. Don't wait until it's too late. Stop into Meineke and get your tires inspected today. If you need new tires, we have a special offer for you. Get free mounting and balancing of 4 new General or Continental brand tires with purchase of our complete tire installation package. That's a savings of almost $100. Our tire installation package includes mounting and balancing, road hazard, tire disposal, and wheel alignment. Set up your appointment at Meineke.com today.
Fry Construction wants to thank you for once again voting us Best of Madison 3 years running with 27% off gutters or insulation. Your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best of Madison 3 years in a row. Experience the Best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Save 27% off gutters or insulation with any full roof replacement project. Schedule your consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment. Women said they were groped and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Those who spoke out were fired. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Right now at Slumberland Furniture, you'll get 30% off all living room furniture. Yup, sofas, sectionals, tables, recliners, and more. All 30% off. Plus 30% off select mattresses and 20% off everything else. On now at Slumberland Furniture.
Each year, the Goodman Community Center gives plenty to be thankful for.
They provide 4,000 Dane County families a full Thanksgiving spread, and 2022's registration numbers have set record highs. Our Andrew Banstra is at Goodman with the story. Andrew?
Eric and Charlotte, the Thanksgiving baskets that they give out each year here, they make a massive difference in thousands of area lives and families. But this year is a little bit different. Demand is through the roof. Just a couple days after registration opened, all the slots are almost full.
3,000 families signed up in the first 24 hours of the Goodman Community Center's 2022 Thanksgiving Basket Drive.
Last year, we had 2,400 in the first day, and that felt like a ton. So I think this morning when I looked, we're at 3,500.
Demand is always high, but this year is different.
People are feeling the increase in the grocery prices in their wallet, and so they're kind of thinking about, okay, how can we still celebrate the holidays, still have all the wonderful feels we get coming around at the table for a good meal, and I think that's kind of why we're seeing this big increase.
The Goodman Center and their donors feel it too in their 34th year of peddling these turkeys. And for those that can, they're asking for your help.
We really encourage people that want to help host a food drive. If you don't want to do a food drive, maybe think about doing a fundraiser to help us raise money to purchase the things that we will purchase.
They work with nonprofits and school districts to make sure that they reach the families that need it most, but anyone can apply.
We do a lot of legwork to get the word out to the folks that we feel like need to hear it most, and we also do a lot of work to try to remove any barriers from people being able to get that food, like transportation issues.
Thanks has a different definition for everyone, and for Francesca, there's no better way to celebrate Thanksgiving.
What drives me is just knowing just the impact it has on our community. People really give us some wonderful feedback and say, you know, this has really just made the difference for them and their family to be able to know that they could put on a holiday meal.
Whether you'd like to register for a basket, host a food drive, or see the countdown for what foods they need most as Thanksgiving nears, check out this story on channel3000.com. In Madison, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
Andrew, thank you. Chilly tonight, but then things warm up. Heading for the weekend, Gary has a complete forecast.
Yeah, 3 things you need to know in the forecast. After seeing temperatures in the 40s last couple of days and only 30s on Monday, now we're looking at high temperatures in the upper 60s for Friday and lower 70s for both Saturday and Sunday. Good timing, just in time for the weekend. Of course, homecoming weekend for the Badgers. Thunderstorm chances return Sunday night into Monday morning ahead of a cold front. And behind the front, temperatures drop back to slightly below normal. Not as chilly as we're seeing now. Highs probably upper 40s to lower 50s for the latter part of next week. Might be a couple of days with just some slight chances for showers. But right now, the only precipitation, still some snow flurries and snow showers in the northeastern part of the Midwest. But low temperatures this morning were chilly across much of the eastern 2/3 of the country. Temperatures were in the 30s as far south as the Gulf Coast, even northern portions of the Florida Panhandle, and temperatures across the Florida Peninsula pretty chilly for this time of year. There are freeze warnings in effect again tonight from northern Ohio all the way down to the Gulf Coast, and freeze watches across the southeastern part of the country. So we haven't been alone in the cold weather, but it's starting to shift off to the east. And those northerly winds are starting to become more westerly and southwesterly over the western part of the country, and that will start to fuel a warm-up over the next couple of days. Right now, those winds still out of the north here. So another cold night tonight, lows probably in the lower 30s, but a warm front out to the west of us. That's a good sign. Winds becoming a little more westerly rather than northerly. Temperatures right now, lower 40s through much of Wisconsin, upper 30s up around Rhinelander. But these temperatures will continue to climb over the next couple of days. And as you take a look at future track, notice those winds west-northwesterly for the most part. But as we head from Thursday into Friday, notice out to the west, those winds becoming westerly and then eventually southerly. That's a good sign for a warm-up. And as we kick into Friday, those winds strong out of the south, getting temperatures up near 70 degrees, and those southerly and southwesterly winds will continue not only through Friday, but into Friday night, Saturday, and probably Sunday. Then we turn our attention to a cold front well out to the north and west. That will be in here probably late Sunday night or early Monday morning, and that's what will drop the temperatures back. But before that happens, probably see a couple of showers and thunderstorms Sunday night and Monday morning. Plan your night. Low temperature 31 Middleton, 32 in Pine Bluff, 31 degrees in Cambridge with partly cloudy skies overnight. Then across the rest of southern Wisconsin, 34 Milwaukee, 30 in Monroe, 30 in Camp Douglas. Not as cold as we've seen in recent nights. Tomorrow, look for skies to be mostly sunny. It won't be as chilly. High temperature topping out at 56 degrees. The 7 to 10 day forecast. 56 tomorrow, but 69 on Friday, 73 Saturday, windy, a high of 72 on Sunday. Then we'll see some scattered shower and thunderstorms from Sunday night into Monday morning. Cold front comes through. Temperatures actually drop off on Monday afternoon, and then we're back into the mid-50s on Tuesday and upper 40s to lower 50s for the rest of next week with just a couple of slight chances for rain.
And coming up in sports, Tyler Wall added to his game in the offseason. While you shouldn't be surprised if you see the Badger senior show off his range at the Kohl Center. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
What you see is important. How you see is important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Right now, get 40% off lenses with the purchase of any frames. Shopko Optical.
Breaking news in Dallas, Texas, where at least 5 police officers were killed when they were ambushed.
This was the deadliest day for U.S. law enforcement since 9/11.
Just days after this horrific crime, Mandela Barnes appeared on Vladimir Putin's propaganda news outlet and rationalized violence against American police officers.
Police officers are over-exercising their badness. This probably was a retaliatory attack.
Do you want Mandela Barnes representing you in the Senate?
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland, as in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love. Welcome to Delicious.
Nice.
Finding the Honda you really want just got easier. With a longer limited warranty, so long. Downloadable inspection reports, so you see what we see. Downloadable. And complimentary oil changes within the first year. That's what I'm talking about. You've never been more at peace than with Honda Certified Pre-Owned.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses? See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
News 3 Now brought you the only debate between Governor Tony Evers and challenger Tim Michels, focusing on the important issues facing Wisconsin and our nation. Committed to giving you a clear and objective view of campaign 2022. News 3 Now, your local election headquarters.
Each year, Tyler Wall has taken the court at the Kohl Center. He's improved his game. He's coming off a year where he was arguably Wisconsin's best player besides Johnny Davis, and big things are expected from the senior forward again. We've seen what Wall can do down in the paint and on the defensive end for the Badgers. And now the Big Ten all preseason honoree says he spent the offseason working on his range.
My focus this offseason was just my outside shot. You know, that's something where not been my greatest strength in the past, but I feel like the way it's been looking, the way I'm feeling going into the season, I'm pretty confident. When it comes to games, I just got to take the open shots that I get and be confident in myself to knock them down.
Aaron Rodgers didn't spell anything out after Green Bay's second straight loss to a team from New York, i.e. relax. Instead, he called for the Packers to simplify on offense. Well, it appears Matt LaFleur was listening to his starting quarterback, who was held out of practice today to rest his injured right thumb. LaFleur's message this week to his 3-3 team was simple: get back to having fun playing football together.
I thought the mood, the vibe around the team is as good as it can be, and you know, just challenge them to go out and compete to the best of their ability, put in the work throughout the course of the week, and go out and enjoy this. We've got to have fun playing ball.
And don't forget to tune in to tonight's Badger Blueprint. Jim Polzine and I look back at the recurring mistakes that keep costing Wisconsin wins and preview UW's homecoming game against Purdue. That's tonight during the News 3 Now at 10. And this is the best thing you'll see all week. Last Friday, Mineral Point beat Cuba City to qualify for the playoffs, but this play is what everybody left talking about. A.J. Ruri got into the game and had a run he'll remember for the rest of his life. I believe the play was called Rutgers A.J. Hope I didn't give the game plan away. And A.J. not only blew by the Cuban defense, but the homecoming King scampered 20 yards into the end zone for a touchdown, a spike, and a flex.
Got a flex in, too.
Fantastic.
How cool is that?
That is awesome.
I love those stories.
That's a great story. Well, thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.